Good morning, everyone. Today we will continue where in the previous session that we have done a part of marital counseling. Today we shall continue the remaining part in this session. So to quickly summarize what we have done in the previous Saturday session, so we were mainly looking at what is marital therapy, what kind of couples it is suitable, and what kind of couples it cannot help, and what are the different causes for this marital distress or difficulties in marriage. This much we have done in the previous session. So in this part too, we'll mainly focus on the aspects of counseling or therapy, what is done exactly in these counseling sessions and how they are conducted and what you can expect and what kind of therapies are conducted in these sessions. So we'll start the session looking at what is the setting in which these marital counseling sessions are conducted. Marital therapy is always conducted as a couple together, sitting together with the therapist, because when we are looking at this marital issues, mainly looking at the interaction, communication issues between the couple, and sometimes the intra-psychic or the manipulations that we all do on each other, and the kind of escaping responsibilities, all these we can understand only when the couple are together and we are able to understand their interactional pattern face to face. So when we are sitting with some of the couples are more keen on talking separately. But the flaw here is when they talk separately, that is only an information for the therapist. So the therapist has no access to the reality check, no access to the information that is given, how much it is kind of accepted or not accepted by the partner. So it's entirely a kind of an information which will not help in further working the relationship of the couple. So it is always scientifically recommended that we see the couple as long as they are issues related to couple communication, interaction patterns, and with regard to the kind of responsibilities and child related issues, it's always mandatory that the couple has to be together in the sessions. So sometimes when there are some kind of personality issues in any of the partner or either of the partner come in the way of the therapy or the sessions, that's when after a couple of sessions, the therapist will take the kind of lead in order to see what benefits best. So in such cases, some individual work can be done before we actually think of marital sessions. So mainly the sessions are together sessions, so that we can bring in the interactional patterns and the kind of communication that happens, both positive as well as negative way of communications between the couple. And one important other aspect is we sometimes include grown-up children when there are issues related to them, especially if the issues are around the children behavior and how it is affecting the couple relationship. So sometimes children are included, again kept the age of the children into consideration. And other family members like in-laws or parents are generally not included in the couple sessions, because couple are considered to be adults and they need to learn how to resolve their own issues, not only at present, but even in the future. So for that purpose, other family members are generally not involved in the sessions related to marital or couple issues. So this is briefly about the setting where generally the couple sessions are conducted, and the sessions are completely the information or the session material is completely confidential, and it is completely used only for the relational benefit of the couple. And looking at the stages or how many number of sessions a couple need, or I mean how many hours are recommended, whether each couple has to go through a kind of structure or it differs with each couple. So there are two stages here when a couple approaches for marital therapy. One is an assessment phase and the other is the actual therapy phase. Assessment phase is where when the couple approaches for professional help. Most of the time the couple sessions are 2 hour long sessions because of the information and because it needs a much more time than compared to the individual sessions, because the kind of relational issues that one has to go through are a little more time consuming, and then they are mainly related to the emotions. So that's where each session is considered to be a 2 hour session, couple sessions. So coming back to what happens in assessment sessions, generally in assessment, the couple is seated together, and then the assessment is mainly on 3 areas. So what are the strengths that the couple are coming with? What are the positive aspects that the couple are coming with? And what are the problem areas and the problem behaviors that are the factors that are coming in the way of couple relationships? And it is also, the assessment phase is also meant for assessing the suitability of the couple for marital therapy. So what kind of factors that are suitable for marital therapy, we have already discussed in the previous episode. Kindly, someone who is not followed that episode, go back and then relook at them. So I've given a detailed discussion on what kind of factors marital therapy that couple comes with, and which couple are considered to be more suitable and which couple are not. So kindly look back into that. So we are not going into that here. So these are the 3 areas that one will be assessing in the assessment phase. Usually it lasts for 2 hours. Sometimes some couple, the assessment might continue with the second sitting. 3 to 4 hours is the maximum time that one look at the assessment. Sometimes couple coming with some personality issues, or one of the partner having any kind of individual psychological conditions, say depression or anxiety, or the different conditions that we have discussed in our psychoeducation series. So sometimes we need to take individual sessions as a first priority, and then we will at a second later stage we look at the marital issues as the second step. So sometimes there might also arise a need to conduct a personality assessment or some couple of psychological testing as the couple required. So this is mainly in order to have a complete information where the assessment is not missing out any important details that can help the couple in conducting the therapy in the next stage. So coming to the therapy stage, mainly here in therapy stage, mainly the therapy is mainly focused on depending on the kind of therapy that one chooses. Mainly if you are looking at cognitive marital therapy, where mainly the focus is on training the couple in communication, training the couple in positive interactions, uh, by using a set of role plays and behavior rehearsals. Actually, the conditions are actually rehearsed or role played in the sessions uh, by the couple themselves. And other therapy, mainly the kind of techniques that we use depend on the kind of therapy and what kind of therapy is suitable. So which we are going to discuss in detail shortly about the different kind of therapies that we do at our place. Um, but in order to just focus on what happens in therapy sessions, if we are taking a cognitive behavior therapy approach, mainly we are working on the interactional patterns, improving the communication skills and problem skills, conflict resolution skills of the couple, and mainly increasing the positive reward behaviors between the couple and decreasing the problem behaviors. So here, when there are problem behaviors identified in the interaction of the couple, so it's important for a therapist to identify what function these problem behaviors are playing, so that the functions can be replaced by more healthy communication patterns. Sometimes the conflicts that any partner or sometimes both partners having towards their primary caregivers like parents, mother or father, might also come in the way of relationship, which we have discussed in our previous episodes as well. So here it is important that with the help of the partner, these conflicts can be resolved, and some of the partners might require a little bit of separate work in order to resolve these conflicts with the primary caregivers, that is parents or siblings sometimes. So this is how the assessment as well as the therapy sessions are conducted. If the couple is approaching for issues related to sexual problems, then the focus is entirely on specific couple sexual issues, which also I will kind of explain to you shortly in the session today. And based on the couple problem areas, so in therapy, mainly the expectations that the couple have about each other are being written in a little more structured form, and they are discussed in a detailed way, getting into specific details of how these expectations can be fulfilled in their future marital life. So expectations are written by the couple themselves based on the assessment session, based on the feedback given by the therapist, and how practically these expectations can be worked out is what we will be discussing in the therapy sessions. So the main purpose why the expectations are requested to be in a written form is in therapy there is a kind of vast information that is being discussed, and once the couple goes back to their original setting, what is discussed in therapy may not be completely recollected. So for this purpose, to make it a little more structured, expectations are written um, on each other by the couple themselves based on their understanding and self-reflection that they have gained in these assessment a little bit in the beginning therapy sessions as well. So the main process that happens here is self-reflection and change towards a better interactional patterns, and taking self-responsibility is very important towards a positive change towards improving the couple relationship. So this is briefly about the stages in which the couple sessions are conducted. So now we'll mainly focus on the kind of therapies that are conducted in our center, Manaswin Center for Family and Marital Therapy here. So mainly I am a trained cognitive behavior therapist. So my main focus is on the cognitive behavior therapy principles. Like I have discussed what is CBT and the details and the principles of CBT in our CBT special episode session. If someone who is not following that can go back, it is posted on 9th July 2020. So the same principles are applied for couple therapy. The principles that we have applied for individual sessions, individual therapy, are applied in couple therapy, where mainly working on their positive interactional patterns, helping them learn more in terms of how to communicate, increase their positive communication skills. And the important aspect here in marital therapy is the kind of thought process or the thinking that couple have on each other. So it plays a very important role in the relationship that couple has towards each other. So unmet expectations or negative thought process that one partner holds towards the other person uh, always will be a block for the healthy development of their relationship. So working through this cognitive process or thought process or belief systems is one important aspect that is taken care in the cognitive behavior marital therapy. So this is one important marital therapy that we conduct here in our center. And the second kind of therapy is the uh, therapy where couples coming with emotional injuries. So it is called emotional focused therapy. In this kind of therapy, where these therapies, the couples coming to these kind of therapies are slightly different from the couples that we have discussed so far. Here, the couple come with emotional hurt in relation to the life events after marriage, like say, couple where the partner did not, could not, or did not, or support wife during the pregnancy or childbirth uh, kind of critical stages, and a partner could not or did not accompany a dying partner, a dying parent of the other partner, or and things like someone who is not appreciative of the kind of career success, while the other person is completely indifferent to the career success of one partner. And the most extreme is the extramarital affair, where the breach of trust or the broken trust happens, and a lot of anger and hurt feelings are left behind. So these are the emotional injuries when couple come with. So we need to work through a completely a different kind of therapy process, where the focus is mainly on the forgiveness therapy. So forgiveness is a kind of uh, um, because the entire relationship of the couple is based on these emotional injuries. So the only way to move on from here, because when these kind of injuries happen and then the relationship is blocked more than 2 years or 3 years, so it is completely a kind of unprogressive or completely uh, a kind of relation where it has come to a stall, and couples are completely lost as to how to move forward or progress forward. So we need to work through these forgiveness therapy, where the person who has been considered to kind of given the hurt or left hurt feelings or anger feelings in the other partner uh, are kind of work through this pain situations or emotional ventilation, mainly ventilating and then completing this process of ventilating their negative emotions and then helping each other to kind of move on with by giving forgiving whatever the emotional hurt or the life event that is been the major block. So the sessions here are highly emotionally charged, and then a kind of expertise and skill is very much required. Experience is very much required for the therapist to handle these kind of emotional injuries when the couple are going through. And it is important that the couple are um, uh, able to take the complete therapy rather than leave it half the way, because it is after all bringing back the emotional injuries that are been completely kept under the rug for many years. So forgiveness is the process through which these kind of emotional injuries are worked through, and then forgiveness will help them to move forward and improve their physical, mental, psychological, as well as spiritual well-being of the couple way forward. So this is one other kind of therapy that we look at. And coming to a special word on couple sex therapy. So different kinds of couples, sometimes they come with general problems, but it appears that there is a stagnation in this particular sexual area, and it comes forth as one of the major, or sometimes it is the only major issue in couple relationship. So the kind of mainly the kind of issues that couple come with are psychological in origin, where the physical reasons of this sexual problems are being ruled out, because the various factors that are included in sexual difficulties vary. It can be because of the physical illness, or sometimes it can be because of the faulty learning experiences. It can be because of for various other reasons, like performance difficulties, ejaculation, premature ejaculation in males, and inhibited orgasm in females. And sometimes a lack of libido is also one of the major concern that couples come with. So low interest, all these different aspects that are mainly related around the psychological area, nothing to do with the physical kind of reasons. So the therapy is mainly focused towards the anatomy and physiology of the sexual response, and how they can work through all these faulty learning experiences, and couple are given guidance towards how they can work through these psychological blocks. Sometimes the sexual problems can also come because of the one of the partner having a psychological problem like a depression or anxiety. In such cases, treatment for individual treatment along with the couple sexual therapy is beneficial for such couples. So this is in brief about the different kind of therapies: cognitive behavior marital therapy, emotion focused therapy, as well as couple sex therapy. These three kinds of therapies are conducted by us. So looking at what kind of techniques that one get when they approach, and how many number of sessions or number of hours one need to come for the sessions. So the kind of techniques are mainly working through their communication skills, working through their problem solving skills, working through their conflict resolution, and how positive interactions can be improved. All this done in a very practical, scientific way by behavior rehearsals and role plays by the couple in the sessions. And mainly the working through validation process. So sometimes the partners may not agree with each other with the kind of belief system or thinking pattern. So sometimes it's also important that one need to give validation or respect to the belief system, even though one does not agree, in order to kind of develop that trust or respect for each other, for the couple to move on or relate to each other in a healthy way. So coming to the last part of the therapy session, last part of our session today. So how successful are these? So before moving on to that, generally couple require 10 to 12 hours. Some couples might even extend to a maximum of, generally divided weekly twice, followed by weekly one sessions, and every time a 2-hour session is recommended. This is how between 10 to 12 to a maximum of 20 hours of couple therapy, based on the kind of issues that the couple come up with when they enter into therapy. So coming to the last part here, how successful are these marital therapies? So it depends again on various factors: how willing are couple coming into therapy, and how motivated they are towards the change. See, counseling is, after all, is a process of change. If one partner is only looking at the other partner as the complete reason for the couple difficulties, then the entire burden of change is only on the partner. So this can become a little difficult. So how willing the couple are towards changing and working their relationship, the success rate depends on that. So there are other factors that might interfere in the couple, their maturity levels. Let us say that couple entirely move on with the relationship without knowing about each other, just for the sake of physical attraction, or couples who has kind of a kind of pregnancy issues before marriage, during courtship. These are the kind of couples where they are not really kind of maturely related or know about each other before marriage. The success rate is generally low. And success rate also depends on how effectively couple are, and how flexible and open couple are towards following the kind of therapy techniques that are being discussed. Sometimes one of the partner may not agree with the expectations of the other partner, and then it might again become a block, in spite of looking at the relationship that need to be worked through. Unconvincing expectations by one partner or either partners can also end up in not giving better or fruitful results in marital therapy. So some of the couples leaving half the way without completing the sessions also may not benefit much. So it's always important, and it is recommended that the couples take the complete course or the complete number of sessions recommended to them in the therapy sessions by the therapist. So this is something that I wanted to discuss in today's session. So from the next week session on, we will shift our focus a little bit on the child related aspects, and then later we'll again come back to the marital aspects. Thank you all. Happy weekend.